All right, next from Nate. Nate, Law Self-Defense Platinum member. Nate asks, are there any cases or articles you've written about issues that came up when buying, selling private party? Whenever I buy or sell items, I tend to not carry. I tend to not carry, with my worry being nothing I'm buying or selling is worth dying for. If robbed, I would just give the items up. And two, I have worries about the imminence or avoidance standard. If I meet someone at their house to buy an item and they try to rob me, could it be seen that I am bringing the fight to them? Well, unfortunately, in these kinds of, and this is like a Craigslist type situation, right? So you go on Craigslist, you're looking to buy a crib or, I don't know, a dresser, whatever stuff, bicycle, used on Craigslist. Someone has one for sale. So you meet up to do the exchange. Presumably you're going to give them cash or maybe one of the other payment systems they use today. When I used to do this stuff, I generally paid cash. And I would sometimes buy stuff like laptops, which were, pretty expensive. So I'm showing up with a bunch of cash. And of course, if you're a bad guy, a not terrible plan would be to advertise something expensive and wait for a dude to show up with a bunch of cash to buy it and then rob him of the cash, right? So I was always extremely nervous about those transactions. In fact, I haven't done one of them in years because, frankly, I don't think the risk is worth it. When I did do them, I would not go to someone else's home. Because if you go to someone else's home, obviously, if it's like a piece of furniture, I guess you don't have a choice. But the stuff I was buying was stuff that was easily portable, like a laptop. I would generally try to meet them like at a shopping mall, a crowded public place, lots of witnesses. Because witnesses are generally good for good guy cases of self-defense. I would not go unarmed, not because I'm prepared to kill someone over some money or a piece of property, but because if someone's threatening me with a gun, they're threatening me with a gun. It's not the property that's an issue. It's my life that's an issue. And it's not uncommon for people to be compliant in a robbery and to get shot anyway. So I would want the means to defend myself. I'm not telling you to do that. You have to make that decision for yourself. But when I used to do these transactions, I would be armed like I'm normally armed with my pistol and pepper spray. If you go to someone's home, what you have to worry about then is the false narratives, right? Because if something goes down and you use force, the people evaluating your use of force after the fact, the police, the prosecutor, the judge, the jury, none of them were there when it happened. None of them know what actually happened. There's no truth with a capital T. And the other party's likely to lie about what happened. They may try to call you an intruder, even though they invited you in, for example. And that would really complicate your claim of self-defense. So I don't like those, putting myself in situations where my narrative of self-defense begins to become ambiguous or less credible. And going to a stranger's home, especially where there might be a monetary transaction, where they might change the price when you get there, or the item's not in the condition promised, and a dispute can occur, I'd be really cautious. If I was buying a piece of furniture, I'd want to see it in an open garage, open to the public, for example. I wouldn't be comfortable going into a stranger's home.